Hello everyone and welcome. I am Dale of the Knit1.Tea2 podcast, and this is my YouTube channel where I share all about my makings, mostly knitting, sometimes other crafts as well. It is Friday, September 1st. Happy September 1st, everybody. I cannot believe that it's September. I'm coming to you from Rhode Island, and all schools are different, but my daughter is not starting school until Tuesday, so she is still here. We are actually going to the school later for a little gathering, preschool gathering. Not preschool, but like before school gathering. To drop off some supplies and so she can see friends and things like that. You can find me on Instagram as Knit1.Tea2 and Ravelry. Okay, but wait. I think it's just Knit1Tea2 with no dot on Ravelry. I have the links below, as always, so they're there. But thank you to Courtney of Pearls of Paradise. Am I saying that correctly? I will link her podcast below too. But she sent me a message on Instagram that helps me figure out where that was on Ravelry to change my name, and I'm happy because I wanted it to match. So, let's see. So I have a little bit of time, not too much time, so this is going to be a little bit shorter. I'm planning to edit later. I am having more coffee. This is one of my like fall mugs. Well, I consider it fall because it's like brown and sunflowers. I'm ready for fall. I'm so ready. It actually feels a little bit like fall here today, but it's gonna get humid again this upcoming week, I think. So first, oh, I also have my water in my Autumn Vibes mug, which I use even in not. But anyways, okay. I think first I'll talk about the MakeALong with Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady. She is doing a crazy, spooky MakeALong, and I will put the hashtag down below. I should start my list of what I need to put in here. I think it's Crazy Spooky MAL 23, I believe is what it is. So I will also try and link her Ravelry group. Can I link a Ravelry group or maybe just her page? I'll try and link that down below as well. So I will post, well, I'm going to actually use the picture that I took yesterday and posted. I recently found out and realized, maybe I think I kind of knew, but just realized like you can do a post like you do on Instagram on YouTube. So I know I had been recording mostly every Wednesday, and I just wanted to let everyone know like that I was going to get to it, but my anxiety has been kind of crazy with this full moon. This is like half decaf, more than half decaf coffee. So I think it's full moon related. Could be also partly pregnancy related. My anxiety has been crazy, so I'm feeling a little bit better today and felt like I could actually podcast. I was still knitting and doing, life stuff, same old dishes, laundry, all that good stuff, running errands and things like that. And it was just kind of crazy getting ready for back to school. So anyways, the MakeALong. So I have my fall yarns, which I don't think I'm going to share them all because I know one of them I'm going to cast on for October 1st for Vlogtober. I almost said Vlogmas. I will talk about my sweater that I'm going to make. I will go over that. And other ones are just ones that kind of remind me of fall if I get to them. One of them is a new whip that I cast on today. But let's start with finished objects. Okay. I dropped the tripod. Okay, so I have my basket of finished objects. I don't think I've shared this, but this is the basket. Don't know where it came from. Probably the local Buy Nothing group or my mom. I love baskets. I probably have too many. There's never too many baskets. Like, I don't know. There's never too many baskets. I don't really want to bend over like that though. This is going to become more and more challenging as my belly becomes larger and larger. Okay, so the first, I'm going to set over here. There we go. The first finished object is actually not even knitting. So I used to, and still kind of do, make jewelry. Nothing too fancy, but I'm making stitch markers too. So I had pulled out my things. I actually added to my bracelet here. It's really hard to see. So I made, oh gosh. Yeah. I made those bracelets. I made a couple other ones here too. Anyways. But I made earrings. Christmas earrings. So those are my candy cane earrings. Oh, please focus. Stop focusing on my face. Why? Stop moving. Focus. What if I take it off? It's gonna be one of those days. And I'm not really stopping to like re-record or restart because I'm gonna use this hand. Okay, it's a little better. And I'll try and post a picture of the earrings. Maybe that will work better. So I made those. They're actually really lightweight because these are like little, I don't even know what they are, little like plastic ornament things that I had gotten at Hobby Lobby last year. And I was like, ooh, they're really lightweight. They'll make great earrings. So earrings, I'll take a picture. I'll post it here. I will add that to my list over here that I want to put a picture of them in. Okay, let's move along. It's already 7 minutes, although I am going to cut out when I drop my tripod. So, oh my gosh. What do I want to start with? All right, I'm going to start with some of the little things here. I finished my sparkly snowman that I showed last time. There he is. I gave him a light blue scarf so that he's a little, they're all going to be a little different. My hair, whatever. All going to be a little different, all little different sizes. You still can't really tell that he's sparkly, but he is. So I got a snowman done. And I finished the 2 dishcloths that were on my needles. Can't remember anything about this yarn because I mentioned it so many times. I will have my project page listed below. I talked about it last episode, so you can go back and look at that if you want to know yarn details. Same thing with this one. Talked about it last time. Yarn details are in the last episode and will be in my project page down there under the picture of each of the dishcloths. I put the yarn details because I use all different yarns, but all my dishcloths have one project page. I don't even think I welcomed you guys to my channel. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for all the returning viewers, and welcome to all of my new subscribers. I really appreciate every new subscriber that I have, and for all of you who watch my videos, I really appreciate it. So, I wanted to throw that in there because I totally forgot. Okay, so I made, I think, was this a whip last time? I feel like I'm very unprepared, and I think it's just because I'm a little thrown off here. Yes, it was. The baby hat I finished. The pattern is, so the pattern says newborn size, but it's 0 to 3 months. So I'm actually making a newborn hat that's, I'll show you, that's going to be smaller. I'm going to do size comparisons. The Bernat baby yarn. Baby yellow is the yellow color, lavender is the top color. The pattern is the main baby hat. from Fiber of Maine. So that's done. And then, these were not whips last time, but I decided to make some mittens. I love this, the world's simplest knitting pattern. The world's simplest mitten. World's simplest mitten? Maybe the isn't in front of it. Oh. Okay. The World's Simplest Mittens by Tin Can Knits. Free pattern on Ravelry. I love their patterns so much because I love all the different sizes that they offer as options. And fingering DK worsted, and I think bulky is listed here too. I know I've talked about that before. Chunky weight, yeah. So I made 2 pairs of mittens. So this is the first pair. This is a child's size. So the child's mittens, worsted weight yarn. I feel like that looks weird. Big twist from Joann's. I believe the color is just gray. It was in my stash, so I had made these for Liliana last year for Christmas too, just in pink. She likes them. So there's that one. And then I did the toddler size. Did I write when I finished? The gray ones I finished on the 29th of August. Did I write down when I started them? No. I did not. Did I write it down in Ravelry? Maybe. I can't really recall. Purple toddler size mittens from the same pattern. This is Red Heart Multi in the Purple Tones colorway. I wrote it down. I knew I had made hats with this. I made myself a hat and my husband a hat last year out of this, and I thought I'd written it down under that hat on Ravelry, and I did. So I made those. I have a weird question for everyone. So my plan, my mom's church is hosting a bazaar, and my mom sews, and I are going to participate, and my nieces as well. But what is the, like, so I'm going to tag with the sizes of the mittens and like washing instructions, because I'm selling things that can be washed and dried, or like thrown into the wash machine. I usually don't block items, small items like mittens, socks, like the dishcloths. That's normal, right? Like you wouldn't wash the items to then sell them, correct? Or do you? Because you're under the assumption that when someone buys it, then they're going to wash it when they buy it, correct? Maybe that's a weird question, but it's been on my mind. Like, I don't block items, so I don't think, I mean, I know people do, but like, would you block an item before you sell it? I don't know, what do you think? Because personally, when I buy something, I come home, I wash it, and then I use it. Is that what everyone else does too? Let me know. Okay. Told you it's gonna be a weird one. All right, gray mittens, toddler mittens. Did I say baby? It is a toddler size. So, okay. This is another weird thing. This is, see, weird. I'm gonna put them on the sock blockers. So I have a pair of shorty socks that I finished, my rainbow shorties. I started these on August 18th. I finished them August 26th. It was interesting because, excuse me, I got a frog. All right, it was interesting because when I was using the yarn, so I had used this yarn, it was already caked up. I used the yarn after knitting my daughter a pair of socks for her 7th birthday and back in February. And when I was knitting these, all of a sudden my yarn ended and I was watching TV and I was like, wait a minute, I know I had enough. I was only on the first sock. It literally looked like like the yarn was cut. And so I wound up the next little bit, and it happened again. I was like, what is going on? I had no problems when I knit her socks. And there was, like, so I wound off, I'll put a picture here. Or I usually do the split screen. So I'll put the picture of, I took the picture of all the little tiny balls I got, and then the bigger one. I just don't get it. Like, why did it do that? So then today, while I was working on a new cast on, I stick my needle in the yarn cake. And I'm wondering if after so many times, because I would work on her socks when she was at school and then quickly put them away, maybe that cut the yarn? Is that possible? Like, I did take a picture too, which I'll put here, of what it looked like, how like clean cut it was. Some of it was like frayed, but a lot of it was like, it looked clean cut. So I don't know what happened with that. It was the weirdest thing, but it was so weird. The yarn is Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby. I love the yarn, love it. It was awesome to work with other than that incident, and I think that it might have just been me. I mean, I still love it. I love the colors. I love the way it knit up. Like I said, I really loved working with the yarn. So I don't know. It was just kind of bizarre. So that happened. This, I just used the Crazy Sock Ladies vanilla sock pattern. She does have a video tutorial on how to make any sock pattern, shorty socks. Slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset. I think I did 5 rounds of the cuff, 15 rounds of the leg, so that it was 20 total up here. So that's those, and that was my experience with that. Some weird things have been happening lately. I don't know. But I'm excited that I finally am recording because I now can wear these. So those counted towards summer sock camp and my husband's. I finished my husband's socks that I will put on the sock blocker too. And those counted for summer sock camp too. Excuse me, which is, okay, the Crazy Sock Ladies MakeALong in the summer for socks. And I got a total of, I wrote them down, 8 pairs done for summer sock camp. So not bad. So my husband's socks are striped socks that I striped myself. I started them on August 3rd and finished them on August 31st. So yesterday, I just finished taking pictures. All of a sudden he comes home from work. Like, he stopped home and I was like, oh. I just put them away, thank goodness. Because these, I've kept these a secret. So this is the first one, and I'm pretty sure I was there with my last episode, I think. So that's the first one, and the second one. And this is the Crazy Sock Ladies DK vanilla. Vanilla socks on DK weight, even though this is sport weight yarn. You'll have to look down below at my Ravelry project page if you want to know color names, because I didn't actually know fully the color names. I think I might be missing one of them because I got rid of the tags. So what I did is for this, there are patterns out there that do this, but I kind of just figured it out myself on a pair of socks last year. I slipped every 4th stitch as I was going around for the first round that I changed color. And then I did not do that on the foot, just on the leg and then the top of the foot. These don't match up exactly. I think it's just the way I striped them. It doesn't matter to me. It won't matter to him. I think that's it. On those. Come on, I'm trying to take off this marker, but I might have to just take it off. Oh, there we go. Okay, so those were all my finished objects. Next, I just gotta check the time. Oh, perfect. I'm moving along. I'm going to have to put these away before I go, though. All right, I keep my sock blockers. These are just from Knit Picks. Medium sock blockers. I keep them in my finished object basket and then just keep this on my couch and fill it up as I go along. Okay, moving on to whips. I have 4 to show you. I have not worked on my dish scrubbers, so I won't show those, and I have not worked on my scrappy blanket, so I'm not going to show that either, because if there's no progress, I'm not going to show it. Well, I did, actually, there might be 5. I'll show you the dishcloth that I started. That's not, I don't know if I'm going to continue it. Let's start with that then. So last time I talked about the Chick pattern dishcloth by Elaine Fitzpatrick, I believe her name is. I actually don't even have the pattern in here. So I'm using Just Cotton Yarn Premier. I got this at the dollar store. The colorway is Pansy. It's really cute. I like the color. I like this yarn. I've worked with it before, but I'm not loving this yarn with the pattern, I think, is what it is. Because I'll show you why. So this is how far I've gotten. See, like when I hold it up here, it doesn't look as bad. I feel like it's very holy. Like, I'm not knitting it tight enough. I mean, I'm using a US 6, which is what the pattern called for. And that is 2 sizes smaller than what I normally knit my dishcloths with. I usually use a size 8. The other 2 I finished that I showed as finished objects, I used a 7. But I don't know. It's just, like, do you see that? I don't know. I have made another, like my coaster. Did I wash this one? My Halloween coaster that I showed last time is the same yarn. And so I guess I feel the same way about it. But I know, like, I made a dishcloth with this yarn, and I washed it up, and it does, like, tighten up nice in the wash. So I don't know what to do, and I think that's why I stopped working on this, because I don't know if I want to continue it. I don't know if I want to just try a different yarn and see if I like it better. I don't know. Like this part here looks okay. It's the stockinette and into the pattern. It's just seeming kind of loose. Granted, it's going to be a washcloth like for my daughter for the bath or shower. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. I'll keep you posted. But it's taking up my needles, and I don't have any other dishcloths cast on, so that's kind of bugging me a little. I did find these random, I think I got these at Job Lot, to be honest with you. They're 5mm, so they're size 8. A little bit long cable, but I might try and cast on some dishcloths on this, although it's a little bit stiff, as you can see. So I don't know if I'll like it, but I might try it. Let's see what happens. Yeah, I'm just kind of sad about that other dishcloth. I was so excited to knit it, and I feel like it's just not coming out the way, excuse me, I wanted it to. So I may frog it. Alright, 2 other small things that I don't really actually have much progress on, but I'm going to make a newborn hat. I mentioned that this is just the newborn knit hat for hospitals. I think my mom actually gave me this pattern. It was a free pattern she found online. Don't actually know where it comes from. Don't know. But it uses size 6 needles. It's actually knit flat and then you seam it, but I don't like to do that, so I'm knitting it in the round. Oh no. I'm gonna have to fix that. Okay. I started the cuff. I only have like 1, 2, 3, 4? No, 3 rounds done. But I'm going to pair it with this yarn to make the rest of the body of the hat once I'm done with the cuff. So that's that one. And then I'm using the main baby hat pattern for another one that I literally have. I didn't even do one full row. I just cast on and split them into my, like I didn't even, I didn't even join them in a round yet. This yarn, I don't know, the pink yarn and the gray yarn I think is Premier from the dollar store. The pink yarn is something from Job Lot. If they're worsted weight yarns. This, something, I think this one's from the dollar store too. It's similar to the gray. It's pretty soft actually. And I think what I'm going to do is make, use this for the cuff and then the purple tonal, I don't know where the rest of the skein is, but as the top, the body of the hat, I guess you call it, and make it matching these mittens. So I am using the toddler, I think they call it a toddler size. It's like the 9 to 18 months. That's a long range. I can't remember. But the toddler size from the Maine Baby Hat, the Fibers of Maine, for this. Okay, there's that. So those are my baby hats. Let's do my socks. I guess I'll start with the cast on because my other socks are, okay, we'll start with my vest. See what I mean? My other socks, I brought them to my appointment this morning and they're over by my door in my kitchen. So my vest, I am making my first summer knit vest by Marley Bird is her name. I started it on August 11th. I honestly didn't know if I was going to make any progress on this from last time, but I actually did. I worked on it the other day for a little while. The acorns is where I was at last time. So I've gotten a couple more pattern repeats done. Actually a full pattern repeat. I actually think technically the whole, like the double, like 2 of these wrap rows, getting through 2 of those is actually 1 pattern repeat, I think. I'm still loving it. I started my second skein of yarn. So when I was first knitting it, there's the bottom. When I was first knitting it, and I felt like I wasn't going anywhere, I was like, I'm gonna run out of yarn. I should have bought an extra skein. What was I thinking? But I actually don't think I'm going to now. We'll see. And next time I go to Hobby Lobby, I may pick up an extra, and then I can always return it. If it's not the same dye lot, I don't really care that much because it's variegated in itself, so it'll be fine. So I'm loving it still. I didn't put it on a bigger cable. I should. Next time, guys. Next time I will. This was a little bit spontaneous of recording today because I wanted to record this week. So, okay. I moved my marker. All right, that I did move it. Okay. So that I can update you next time. We can see my progress from this episode to next episode. Okay, so my first pair of socks is actually a cast on today for that MakeALong with the Crazy Sock Lady, and it is with fall, any project with fall or Halloween yarn. Any project. Knitting, crocheting, I think she said cross stitch is fine too. All the things. So I'm using, if you watched my winding yarn video, I'm using my Apple Crisp yarn from Yarnable. I think it was, not even last year, it was in September of, I think it was 2021 maybe. And so I started the cuff. few rows done. I have my apple stitch marker. You never really show good pictures of my stitch markers. I will post a picture here of my stitch markers. I pulled out, with my fall yarns, I pulled out my fall stitch markers as well. So I will post that picture here. I should write that down too. Okay, yeah, this is the picture of the yarns. And stitch marker picture. So what I do is I have my notes here and I write it down and I highlight the things I need to take pictures of. And I'm sorry if it seems like I'm holding my mouth funny sometimes. I bit myself this morning while I was eating breakfast, the side of my tongue, and it really hurts. So if sometimes when I catch a glimpse, I try and look at the camera. When I glimpse at myself, I'm like, oh, I feel like I'm talking funny. But anyways, this is my sock. Oh, that was another thing I wanted to ask people. So I knit all my socks on DPNs, but I always knit them on 3 DPNs. I knit them with 4, so I have the sock on 3, and then use the 4th one to knit around. If you knit on DPNs, what do? Do you have your live stitches on 3 needles or 4? That was something I was thinking about the other day because I was looking at the pattern for the DK socks because I don't have that one. I don't have the numbers memorized like I do just a regular vanilla sock. And I was like, oh, that's 4 needles. I'm knitting with the 5th, but I use 3 needles and knit with the 4th. So I'm just curious, what other people do. Not that I'm going to change because now I'm used to it, but yeah. So I'm excited to continue to see how this knits up. I'm going to do Vanilla Socks by Kay the Crazy Sock Lady. How many rounds of the cuff I'll do, I don't know. I think it was one of my other socks not that long ago. I was working on, we were actually we like to go sit at the local golf course, one of the local, there's a lot actually, and the one we always go to. We like to sit and relax, it's gorgeous over there, they have sunshades, it's beautiful. And I was working on the cuff of one of my other socks, and I had knit 20 rounds of the cuff. I usually do 10 to 15 because I'm lazy and I like just straight knitting. And I said out loud, I was thinking in my head, but then I said it out loud, I said, whose idea was it to knit this many rounds of a cuff? And Liliana was sitting next to me and goes, yours, Mom, it was your idea. Yes, thank you. It was my idea. All right, let me go get my last pair of socks. And by last, I mean, it's 2. 2 is good. I also had mentioned last time I was knitting a pair of baby socks. I have not done anything on those, so I'm still not showing them. There's like 1 row done. I will show them eventually when I make some progress. I have to talk about my dinner after. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, so I got my socks. Something weird happened with this one too. I'm knitting these for myself as well. So the Apple Crisp socks I'm knitting for myself. These ones I'm knitting for myself, and I have a pair of Halloween ones that I'm starting on October 1st that I'm knitting for myself. How many pair of socks is too many to make for yourself? I think the answer is not too many. So this yarn is Hawthorn, Knit Picks Hawthorn. This is the other skein that I wound up in my winding yarn video. And it is, the colorway is Alameda. It is fingering weight, 357 yards, 100 grams, 80% superwash fine Highland wool, and 20% polyamide. I didn't say all that for the Yarnable yarn. I can't remember exactly what it is, and I don't know where the tag is. I said it all in my winding yarn video, so if you're curious, go check that out. I knit all of my socks on size, well, alright, other than the DK socks, sorry, I'm rocking, that's probably distracting for some people. I knit all my socks fingering weight yarn on size 1 needles, US 1, 2.25 millimeter. That is what it is, right? 2.25? Yep. So this is how far I've gotten. I started these on the 26th, and I'm calling these my rainbow fish socks. When I was doing the other video, I couldn't think of what I was going to call them. This, to me, when I started knitting it up, I was like, it looks like rainbow fish. Minus the...
Gold.
No, silver. Minus the silver. I have a helper now. So this is where I'm at. I don't want to... No, don't knock it over. I already knocked it over once. My coffee. So this is where I'm at. So I got through the gusset decreases, and I've knit like 1 row on the foot so far. I think I did, please tell me I didn't do 20 over here. And I think it's 15. 15 rounds at the cuff, knit 2, purl 2 ribbing. Sometimes I do knit 1, purl 1. I went through a phase of that, but now I'm back to the knit 2, purl 2. My stitch marker here is one that I had made, a little charm. This was an angel, yeah, an angel that was from an old charm bracelet of mine that I took. I thought it would be a good progress keeper. And this, all of a sudden, I was like, I dropped this stitch again. I did that on socks not that long ago. But I don't know, this is an extra stitch that I need to fix because I had the right amount of stitches on my needles. So, whatever, I'm not sure. I don't know, it's been weird. It's been a crazy week, I guess. Alright, so that is all the knitting. Yep, that is all the knitting. And if you were just here for the knitting and the making, I am done. With that, I will talk a little bit about life stuff, and then that'll be it. So, books, I have been listening to, last time I was listening to the Hunger Games trilogy, and I'm still waiting for that I think it's called a prequel, so that I could borrow it from the library on Libby. I did listen to Catching Fire, which is the second one, and Mockingjay, all by Susanne Collins. I listened to those. I listened to them on like a pretty fast speed because I've already read them, so they go pretty quick. And then I had started the Twilight series. Someone had been talking about Twilight, so I had listened to the first one. And did you just put water on that? Then that needs to go in the fridge now. Had you done that before? Hold on one second. Okay, sorry. One of our young chicks laid an egg. It's really cute. It's like this big. And we had it out. We were looking at it because fresh eggs, if you're unaware, fresh eggs are good at room temperature as long as you don't wash them. So, and I have to say most of our eggs come out pretty clean. So the ones that don't, I wash them and put them in the fridge. But we keep them out for a little bit. And then I can't remember the exact time frame that they're good for at room temperature, but I usually leave them out for a couple of days and then just pop them into the fridge. But yeah, so Liliana had decided to wash that egg, and I wanted to make sure it got in the fridge because I don't know if it's actually I don't know what's inside. We didn't want to crack it until we got another one, but once they are washed, they have to be put into the fridge because it removes that protective outer coating called the bloom. And that bloom is what prevents any bacteria from getting into the egg and keeps it fresh. So. Side note on eggs, fresh eggs. Back to books. So I had read the first Twilight last time. I then read New Moon and finished that. And now I'm listening to Eclipse. So I say read, but these are all audiobooks. I might as well look up the author. I don't remember who the author is. Who wrote Twilight? I'll put it down below. I can't remember. And then I have not at all listened to the other book I was listening to last time. I probably will have to restart it when I end up going to listen to it again. So, I am 24 weeks pregnant today. I will post a bump picture here. I still have to take it because I haven't taken it. Usually I take it before I sit down to record. we need to go back to school. 24 weeks pregnant. I will post a bump picture. I had an appointment this morning. Just a regular appointment. So far, so good. And there's that. And then walking. So I did tally up my walk. So I was trying to walk originally 1,000 miles in 2023. Now I've changed it to 500 miles. So in August, I walked a total of 17 miles. It's still been pretty hot. So, but my total since January is 347 and a half miles. Not bad. So if I can start to walk, like the weather has been a little bit nicer, so if I can start to walk more because the humidity and the heat was really getting to me. It usually does not. I think it's because I'm pregnant, but I think I can make it. It's like 150 miles. Maybe not. Well, how many months do we have left? September, October, November, December. I don't know where I'll be at in December, but maybe I can do it. We'll see. I'm still making it my goal. If I don't reach it, it's not like I like to set goals to try and keep myself motivated, but I'm not one that's like, if I don't reach that goal, it's okay. We are trying to do 1,000 hours outside. I didn't, oh wait, I'll show the charts actually. So I keep them in the back of my journal. This is my walking chart. And so for the month of August, I was outside 42 hours. That is my 1,000 hours outside chart. It's a tree stump, yes, thank you. And Liliana did a total of 112 hours in August. And her chart is flowers, and that is what it's looking like. We really didn't spend much time outside today. I feel like we've been on the go, but we will when we go to her school. And so I think that was really it. I don't think I usually update on anything else, really. There's nothing really else to update except for the fact that I need to put laundry away desperately. It's clean, but it's sitting in laundry baskets in my room clean. It will probably be in my bump picture that you'll see that. Getting ready to go back to school. Oh, I was going to tell you about my dinner because it smells really good. I am making a ham. It was already cooked ham. I had it in the freezer when it was on sale, I think, at Easter time. And I was like, we got to get this out of the freezer and consume it. So I put it in my crock pot. It smells so good. I just made cream of mushroom soup. And I am going to put a green bean casserole together. And we're going to have like an Easter dinner. I don't know what else we're going to have. Just green bean casserole and ham so far. How did this even come off? I took my bracelet off because it was starting to bug me. So that's what I'm having for dinner tonight, if anyone's curious. I think for postpartum or even just to have in the house, I'm planning to get some small hams. They have like more not personal, but like smaller family-sized hams at Aldi. So when I do my Vlogtober, I'm planning on doing all this stuff and talking about this stuff. So that's my plan. So yeah, maybe I should just start throwing in what I'm doing for dinner into my podcast in my life section because I always need a good suggestion. Oh, the other thing I was going to say is that if I don't mention a podcast, like what I do in my description is I am putting podcasts that I'm watching. So I don't always, sometimes I watch a lot, sometimes it's all the same people. So I don't always like mention each one specifically, but I'll always have a list in the description box because I find that I have found most of the podcasts that I watch through other podcasts and they've been mentioned, so I go check them out, and that's, a way that I can help support them by watching their videos, talking about them to other people, mentioning it down below, and it just helps the community grow, and I just love that. So I just don't always mention each one listing them because, like I said, if I find a new one, I'll let you know. But I think mostly lately it's been the same people. I think that's it. So we are going to go get ready to go. I'm going to throw the green bean casserole together, and then it will be ready to go in the oven when we get back home. And I will edit this, and hopefully it can be posted tomorrow on Saturday morning for anyone that wants to watch and knit on their, or make, or whatever making you want to do. Or if you just want to sit and drink coffee, that's cool too. Sometimes I just drink coffee and watch. Sometimes I knit. And that's that. That's all I got today. Thank you for watching. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and watching my videos and all of the likes and comments that I get. I really appreciate it. And I will see you next time. Thank you.